When we come with that heat, we got skip on the.
All right, $1 million. Oh no, he's already going.
My bad.
No, you good. $1 million radio, Mdmma. Kyle, we're back at it. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
Personal best, baby.
Yeah, honestly. We've done it before.
We might just go 3 weeks in a row.
We can. We can do a little recap. It's going to be another month or so, or a little over a month, I guess, before UFC 326. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about UFC 325 this weekend in Sydney,
and let's
Australia.
recap 324, dude.
Yeah.
What do we think? Let's see here.
First of all, before we get into the fights, how did you feel about the first numbered card on the Paramount deal, Kyle? What was the deal with the Paramount deal?
So many ads. Many ads.
Yeah.
If they would have skipped the superstar intro, I would have been PO'd.
Yeah.
But thankfully they didn't. I really wish they would have skipped Justin Gaethje's intro. I mean, I'm just kidding. It was just like, man, that was. You can't send me Paddy the Baddy's intro and then send in Justin Gaethje after him.
Yeah.
Like,
Paddy,
with all due respect,
he definitely had the bigger pop, and Justin in.
I was about to hit that dance, dude.
I was hitting it on the live, bro. I was hitting it on the live.
I was lit,
I was
man.
going crazy. And then Justin came in his own country, by the way, facing a Englishman, and was getting booed. Not really towards the end of the fight. They kind of respected him at the end of the fight, but so yeah, a lot of ads. Something that we're probably gonna have to get used to with the. Go ahead.
I will say though, Paramount deal. The whole $25,000 bonus if you knock somebody out, and then the $100,000 if you're the performance of the night, and then knock them out, you get $125. Dude, banger starts the card. Those prelim guys are itching for that bonus.
Yeah,
and that's why we saw 4 finishes, 4 fights, and then
I think in the
fourth
prelims,
one was in the second round, but all first 3 were in the first round.
Yeah, in the prelims, I think there were only 2 that went to decision.
Yeah, of course. Okay, you had to bring out my bad beat on Umar not going the distance or on going the distance.
It's not what I was getting at.
Figgy looked awful.
I think they both kind of were underwhelming, but as far as the Paramount deal goes, yes, a lot of commercials, something we're probably gonna have to get used to. That's kind of what comes with doing away with the $80 pay-per-view payment to watch the card, as opposed to $8 a month. You get everything. There's going to be a lot more ad revenue that Paramount has to make up for that. But thankfully, it didn't necessarily affect the co-main event and the main event. That kind of puts those 2 up on a higher pedestal other than the rest of them. But, I mean, the walkouts and the main card weren't there for the most part. And the corner time in between rounds.
That's one thing I didn't like. I liked that they did it for the co-main and main, though. Yeah. Like, we did hear Tim a little bit. We heard Patty's coach a little bit. I think we heard Uriah Faber once or twice. But, like, I do like that we did hear co-main and main. But, man, that's, like, a part that people love. Like, why cut that out? Because you miss moments like Flasher, for instance, bringing up an old Sean fight, Flasher 2 and bring the knee up the middle in the Peter Yan fight. We would have missed that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But, I mean, overall, beggars can't be choosers, I guess, in a way. You know, everybody's excited.
I'll deal with it.
Everybody's excited to only have to pay $8 or whatever it is per month, and you get everything. A lot more ads. And a thing that I noticed was I went live for the main card. Most of the time when I go live for a main card, it's, 2.5 hours or so for a broadcast. We started an hour early, which was good, but we ended about the same time. I went live for 3.5 hours Saturday night just by myself.
Well, I also think, though, that is due to the amount of fights that went the distance, aka all of them on the main card.
That's a good point.
Besides the Derek Lewis fight and Waldo Acosta.
And shout out to everybody that did watch the live Saturday night. Shout out to EB in Sweden. He was live in the chat pretty much the whole time. That was awesome. So we will be going live again for UFC 325 this weekend. And Kyle, it's a rematch. We've got Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes 2 in Sydney, Australia. And I had to double check the time. It is starting at 9 o'clock Eastern time for the main card. It is in Sydney, and it's going to be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday in Australia. So interesting to see like how the fighters, especially in the prelims and the early prelims, is probably going to be like morning time for them whenever they go on to fight. But I'm sure they're acclimated to the time and all that. But interesting to see. But
Man,
yeah,
I hope this Paramount deal doesn't ruin start times for cards. Some people did not like I think it was the China card that was like 3 a.m. Dude, I loved that. That was fun. That was like
yeah,
we're staying up all night, dude. We're gonna watch this, and like that was fun to me. Also, when you have like the Abu Dhabi card starting in the morning, like 10 a.m.,
yeah.
like I like that stuff. I hope that this deal doesn't affect that. I wish Dana would go about all his models starting them around 2 or 3 p.m., even like in the U.S. wise.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Um, I want to say they've done one in Australia within the last year or so. I could be wrong, but I think it was set up about this same time because Australia is just so far ahead from us that it's not like Abu Dhabi or if it's in London or something where stuff like that. But um, I think when they go in Australia, it's about the same time. So maybe that's not a Paramount thing. Maybe that's just how it's set up for Australians. But anyways, as far as the card goes, Kyle, we got a rematch. This fight did go all 5 rounds distance. Volkanovski got the win, obviously. We'll get to this fight here in just a little bit, but overall, looking ahead at this card, do you think it's a nice stat card? We got some bangers ahead of us. How do you feel about the main card?
dude, I think that even prelim included, I think they did a really good job with including a lot of Australian
Oh yeah.
fighters. If I'm not mistaken, there might be an Australian, at least somebody fighting in Australia or training in Australia on every fight. I'm looking at it right now, and that is the case. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we'll get it
Which I
started.
know Mauricio Ruffy just recently, or Rufy, I don't know how to use it, but recently just started training with Volk's team, but
Yeah.
he's kind of training out of Australia, so that's kind of cool.
He said Australia is his new home in the
Yep.
press conference.
I see a lot of
Um,
these fighting nerds, dude. They're moving. I'm pretty sure Carlos Prates is also training elsewhere. I'm
mhm.
not sure where, but he's also training elsewhere, to what my knowledge.
But the main card opener will be 2 Australians, and then you got Tuivasa right after that. Um, Rufy, who we said lives in Australia now, or at least he said is his new home. That's where he trains. Dan Hooker is from New Zealand. I'm pretty sure that's Australia, or like right next to it, or
This is
something like
close.
that. Yeah. Um, but and then obviously Alexander Volkanovski. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it, Kyle. The first one, the main card opener, we got Quillan, Salkilld, and Jamie Mullarkey. Big favorite for Salkilld, who is 10-1. He lost his professional debut, hasn't lost since. 3-0 in the UFC. Dana White Contender Series winner in 2024. Hasn't fought a ranked contender yet. Still not going to in this fight, but he's somebody a very very high up and coming prospect from Australia. In his 3 UFC fights, 2 round 1 knockouts, 1 fight win, went to decision. His last fight was in October 2025 against Nasrat Hakparast, and I mean, I think the story for this one is in the lines. Do you think Jamie Mullarkey has a shot? I mean, he's definitely a professional, a vet. He's been around the block. But this young gun, Quillan Salkilld, what do you think about this one?
Um, I think the young gun gets it done. Who? But
Bars.
I don't know. I don't see it maybe ending as quick as everybody wants. I know I always say that about these high odd fights, but sometimes it does catch up to you when you overlook your opponent a lot. I'm not saying he is, but the odds show that he might be, just in the sense of if I was this big of a favorite against somebody, I might just be like, okay, I got this one. Which I do feel like the UFC did lay this one up to, one, get the crowd hype,
Yeah.
and two, just kind of put him in better position and give him another highlight reel so that way you can maybe he can break the top 15. I do love his little celebration and a little like lighting the cigarette. I don't know exactly how it is, but pretty dope.
No Carlos
Yeah,
Prates, I don't think, but
I've got the favorite here by a long
yeah.
shot.
Yeah, and I think that's why the line is the way it is. I mean, Mullarkey, been a professional fighter since 2013, started his career 8-0, been in the UFC since 2019, 6-6 in that span. Last fight, unanimous decision win over Rolando Bedoya. That was in September, but tough task for old Mullarkey in this one. But, everybody's got that puncher's chance. So we'll see what happens in that opener. But then we get into the heavyweight bout. 12th ranked contender Tai Tuivasa Bam Bam versus Tallison Teixeira, who is now the 15th ranked contender. His last fight, 32nd technical knockout to Derek Lewis in Nashville that fight night back in July. Still a pretty hefty favorite right here, minus 330 on the money line. Tai Tuivasa, 5 consecutive losses, hasn't fought since August 2024, plus 240 on the money line. Do you think Tallison Teixeira, who was undefeated before that loss, he was 8-0, now 8-1 after that fight with Derek Lewis, do you think Tai Tuivasa has what it takes to get this one done?
I think that long of a layoff and that many losses in a row,
Yeah.
call me crazy. I see Ty getting it done.
Really?
And maybe I'm just choosing because I love the dude, but I think also this will get the crowd hype, and I think him being at home will help. Just
Little
getting
extra
that pop,
juice.
just getting the pop, getting that energy from the crowd. But no hate to Tallison, I think Tallison's really good. I just think Ty has that one shot power, just like Tallison does. But I think Ty could just close it out this time around, and I hope he does. I don't want to. I feel like if he loses, it's probably going to be, goodbye and a nice retirement for him. But
Yeah.
in this case, I'm going to say he wins.
Yeah. With Teixeira, he was a heavy favorite in that Derek Lewis fight too. Came in and I want to say just got caught early on. Derek Lewis came, pressed him early, got in a couple shots, kind of stunned Tallison Teixeira, and ended up dropping him real quick. And from what I remember, Teixeira was trying to get back up. He wasn't necessarily knocked out, but Derek Lewis was raining down the punches. He was trying to get up, and he kept grabbing the cage. And after he grabbed the cage a couple times and was still taking shots, the referee ended up calling it. But that was kind of shocking. I don't necessarily think that he's gonna get caught that early this time. But Tuivasa, man, it's hard to count him out. I know he's on that 5-fight losing streak and hasn't fought since August 2024. But in that losing streak, I mean, he's losing to guys like Cyril Gane, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov. Can't really say much about those losses, if you will. But a lot of time off. He's been getting his body right, apparently, and he's going to be in his best form, hopefully, going out Saturday night. So moving on, we've got Rafael Fiziev.
Wait, who do you have in it? You didn't pick who you had in it.
I'll take Teixeira.
Okay.
I think he's just younger, 26. Tai Tuivasa's 32. Like I said, he was undefeated before. He's got that. He's a lot taller, 5 inches taller, 8-inch reach advantage, and I don't think he's gonna go out like he did last time. I think he's gonna come in pissed off, as he should. I
think hopefully it'll be like that first 30 seconds to a minute will be the most entertaining we have ever seen.
Hopefully so. We'll see. But Rafael Fiziev, Mauricio Rufy, lightweight bout. pretty kind of a toss up. I was kind of expecting Rufy to be a little bit heavier favorite in this one. Plus 104 for Fiziev, minus 132 on the money line for Rufy. This is one that Fiziev has 2 losses that came to Justin Gaethje, but both went to decision. He's also got a loss to Gamrot. His last fight was a unanimous decision win over Ignacio Bahamondes that went the distance, obviously. That was one that I went back and looked at, and Bahamondes and Mauricio Rufy kind of similar in style wise, because Bahamondes is 6'3", and this is another guy that he's going to be facing that's a lot.
Bro, he's one of my favorite fighters too, Ignacio.
Yeah, I mean he's
Dude,
fired,
he's
but
sick. He's sick. Watch.
Fiziev was on a 6-fight win streak before 3 straight losses that I said, 2 to Justin Gaethje, and but then he has that win against Ignacio, and it was one of those fights where he seemed prepared to fight a guy like Bahamondes or like Rufy, and we all know the spinning head kick knockout, one of the best knockouts of the year last year, Rufy over King Green, that went viral, as it should have. But Fiziev does have notable wins: round 1 knockout over Hanato Moicano. That was back in 2020, but unanimous decision win over King Green, one that a common opponent with Rufy. Went toe-to-toe with Justin Gaethje twice. Like I said, great striker, very explosive. This is also the shorter matchup for Fiziev, and he'll have to close the distance the whole fight. And Rufy's one of those guys that kind of stays, a few feet away and just kind of picks his punches, throws in that spinning kick that Fiziev is going to be looking for. He's going to be looking for it. He's going to be ready for it. But who do you see getting this one done?
Just like you mentioned, the Bahamondes fight. I mean, dude, that's like I said, he's one of my favorite just scrappers to watch. He's always in the fight. He's sick to watch. That being said, I know he's a young buck, and Rafael Fiziev was having trouble with him getting him out of there. I think this if Rafael Fiziev gets the momentum, I don't see him finishing Mauricio Rufy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Mauricio Rufy has to come in and avenge that um, submission loss from BSD. So I see uh, Mauricio playing it smart and getting it done. I think I am surprised he is the favorite here, not going to lie. But I do see him getting this one done. I don't know if it's necessarily by knockout, but I hope this one, we kind of mentioned it before the call, which one would be like a fight of the night potential. This
Yeah.
one has the potential.
Yeah. There's a few of them that have that potential on this card, at least in the main card. But like you mentioned, Rufy coming off that submission loss to BSD, that was in round 2 of a 5-round fight night main event back in September. Before that loss, Rufy was on a 7-fight win streak. He's 3-1 in the UFC. He won his Dana White Contender Series fight in 2023. He did struggle against takedowns. His takedown defense wasn't that great, but BSD is that good, and I don't necessarily
Well, I
think
think
that.
him training with Volk's camp, I mean, he's going to be working on that
Yeah,
takedown defense heavy. And that's one thing that I can't remember. I think it was on the embedded, but they had mentioned that he's been working on that, and I think that it'll show.
yeah, and also this isn't the type of fighter that's going to be necessarily shooting for takedowns a whole lot. I mean, maybe Fiziev
Yeah.
does. Maybe that's how
I
he
think he'll
sees.
stand and bang with him.
Yeah, I think also Fiziev could see that as a weakness, and maybe he does. He's been working on that and sees that as a way that he can, try to get the win. But I don't know, man. This one's hard to pick,
That's
dude.
Dude, that's a long. How tall is Mauricio Rufy?
Rufy is, where is it? 5'11". Fiziev is 5'8".
Eight.
Rufy also has a 4-inch reach advantage.
Dude, I just see, and it's his long legs, bro. I
Yeah.
see, like, I don't know if Fiziev will be able to break that void as easy as he thinks, maybe. Well, especially with a sniper like him. I mean, a lot of people compare him to prime Connor striking, and we saw that with the head kick. Um, yeah, I see him just sniping him and getting it done. Did you already say who you have here
This one's hard to pick,
officially?
man. This one's hard to pick.
Oh, don't give me that. You got to pick one. What is
I
this? This is a
know. I know.
predictions. This isn't a, oh, they might. I hope they both have fun. No.
Yeah. I think they're both gonna win, dude. If Fiziev
Draw.
gets it done, I think if Fiziev gets it done, honestly, I think if either one gets it done, it's going the distance. It'll be by points. It's just hard to see either one get knocked out. Mauricio got submitted against BSD, who has a ton of submission victories under his belt. Fiziev is a heavy hitter, very explosive, but I don't know if he'll be able to knock Rufy out. But at the end of the day, I'll take Rufy.
Yeah, and you saw last fight how Fiziev did, like him and Justin Gaethje, you know, well, their fight was a scrap, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Let me make sure on that. Let me double check. Um, but regardless, fight with Justin Gaethje, a scrap, and the problem there is Mauricio's a sharp. Like I said, he's a sniper. Like I think his striking is so clean that it's not going to be. You saw kind of how Justin's was last week. Mauricio's is not like that. So
Yeah.
um, I see him getting it done.
All right, well, let's move on to the main event, or excuse me, co-main event, I should say. And this is another one that's going to be up there in the fight of the night
Yeah,
category.
this
Dan
one
Hooker,
should be. It has a lot of expectation to be the fight of the night.
yeah, Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint Denis, number 6 versus number 8. UFC 325 co-main event in the lightweight division. Plus 250 for Dan Hooker on the money line. I thought it'd be a little bit closer, a little bit more even. Minus 340 for BSD. Yeah, fight of the night, main contender in my eyes. Dan Hooker. They keep talking about going to war in this one. Benoit Saint Denis is very good. He's got a 100% finish rate actually. 5 knockouts, 11 submissions. Dan Hooker 3-2 in his last 5. So is BSD. Last fight for Hooker was a round 2 submission loss that we saw on a fight night to Arman Sarukian. 3-fight win streak before that though. For BSD, last fight round 1 knockout over Benil Dariush. That came in 16 seconds. And we also said he has that submission win over Mauricio Rufy. Man, this one's gonna be fun. This was definitely going to be fun.
It's just not even fair, dude, that this lightweight division, because you have like Ilya and then you have Arman Sarukian. Like realistically, who's fighting those two and winning? Tell me. It sucks, but I mean, obviously everybody has that chance. But anyways, let's talk about this fight. Sorry, we'll talk about that later. Um, I see BSD getting it done. I love Dan Hooker. I think that this line is actually insulting to Dan Hooker,
Yeah.
but I just think BSD's on a hot roll right now, and I think that he's going to spread like butter.
Hmm.
You like that?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It
Got
took
to
me a
bring a
second.
little,
It took me
a
a
little bit of
second.
the jokes back. Come on,
Yeah.
dude.
No, it took me a second, but I get it. I get it.
And I think this puts him in contention to like fight top elite guys. We know Dan Hooker's probably on his way out somewhat soon. I could be wrong on that.
He is
Um,
35, and BSD is 30. Dan
Yeah,
Hooker,
I
he's been in a
see. I
lot
see
of
BSD's
wars.
like entering his prime. I mean, dude, you lost people like who was it? Dustin Poirier.
We talking
Who else did you
Hooker?
lose to? Huh?
We talking Hooker or
BSD.
BSD?
BSD.
Um, let's
It's
see.
like,
Yeah,
dude, this.
Dustin Poirier also. He has a loss to Money Moicano that was due to a doctor stoppage. Um, he had a nasty, nasty gash over his eye.
I remember that. Yeah, but he wanted to keep fighting. I'm pretty sure.
He did, but he couldn't
I'm
see,
speaking very like
dude.
foggy memory of that. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I just see BSD getting it done. He has a statement to make, and I think taking out Dan Hooker makes a statement.
Yeah. But also with Dan Hooker, like if he's gonna lose, I don't necessarily think he's gonna get knocked out, especially with it just being a 3-round fight. Um,
Yeah.
and he did just get out grappled and submitted by Arman Sarukian. And Benoit Saint Denis is that guy on the ground. He's got 11 submission victories out of his
He is, but
16
I don't think he
wins.
has the grappling that Armin brings. I don't know if he'll. I think maybe he can take him down, shoot for the takedowns, and take him down, strike with him, but um, he'll just have to make it a dirty fight. But then again, that's where Dan Hooker's trying. Dude, it's just this one's
This
going
one's
to
tough.
be. I think these odds need to be a lot closer. Just looking at tail of the tape, just
So what
looking
you're
at.
saying is there's a lot of value in that Hooker money line plus 250.
If you're going to take an underdog on this main card, who else would you take?
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good point.
Ty, yeah, you can get him that one punch knockout, but Dan, underdog. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and still say BSD's winning, but if there's value in an underdog, I see it being Dan. This is the one I'm not confident in.
Yeah. Well, you
I say
just
that as I went for like 1 for 5 last week.
so basically you just convinced me, especially that you're going BSD. I'll just go ahead and say Dan Hooker, just so like one of us gets it right and we can both look forward to a absolute banger.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see him have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think either one of these guys is necessarily going to be having fun. Well, I mean, Dan
Then
Hooker
again, dude. Okay,
loves this
but then
shit.
again, hold on. I'm about to put something into your brain.
Go ahead.
So, say Dan Hooker wins. Then he has that shot to possibly fight Patty. Patty just coming like off that loss. If Dan wins, then that kind of puts him in position to fight Patty. And you saw them chirping back and
Yeah, there's some
forth.
bad blood there.
Yeah. So, you know, I see that happening. Hey, I'm gonna need you to put a image over my thing because I gotta find my laptop charger real quick.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll
I mean, you can keep on going. It's just I think
okay.
it's under my desk.
I'll just turn you
Yeah.
off
Hey,
real
you
quick.
talk about your pick. Why do you think Dan Hooker's gonna win?
I mean, you convinced me, buddy. You convinced me. I just I don't necessarily think he's gonna win, but I do think that there is value in that money line right there.
All right, we're back.
Um, all right, let me pull you back. Let me pull you back.
What image did you put over me, man?
It's just a black screen. I didn't have anything ready. I mean, I
Oh
could in
crap.
post production, put something there, but
Put up, yeah,
probably
put
not.
put something cool in there.
I'm probably not. Probably not. But
Okay, yeah,
anyways,
no, no. Just don't
uh,
put me.
yeah, I think it's just Dan Hooker's gonna have that puncher's chance, and Benoit Saint Denis, he's been cut up. He's probably gonna have some scar tissue there that could be opened up. That's something to look at. Dan Hooker is gonna be there trying to strike with him, stand and bang, and
Dude, oh God, this one's so hard because
it
going
is.
back and watching that Dan Hooker and Dustin Poirier fight was so nasty, and I just did that recently just because I love that fight. I mean, I think anybody loves that fight.
I think
Technical striking in
I
this
think the
quiet
techni-
arena.
I was about to say, yeah, the technicality is one thing, and when you pair that with nobody in the crowd, where you can just hear the punches, you can hear the grunts and the two dudes just getting into it, like
You hear the strikes that hurt.
yeah, and every one of them did. Every one of them hurt.
Yeah. I
Both
mean, I could
guys went to
probably
the
take I could
hospital.
probably take them, but
No.
I don't know if they could take them, dude. They were.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'll take Dan Hooker. You got BSD, and we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what
Yeah,
happens.
well,
But
we will. Sorry,
moving
Dan, if
on,
you're watching. I'm actually a big fan of you, but sorry, man.
I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah, he probably
I'm
is.
sure he is.
Probably is.
Main event though, rematch, champion Alexander Volkanovski, championship of the featherweight division. Diego Lopes, second ranked contender, minus 154 money line for old Volk, plus 120 for Diego Lopes. We've talked about this one quite a bit, you and I, off air. But Volkanovski 2-3 in his last five, but I mean that doesn't say anything because when you look at those three losses, he's got losses to Islam 2 times. He's got a loss to Ilia Topuria. He's literally, Kyle, his last 10 fights since 2019, 10 fights in a row, all for a title.
He's a beast, dude. I think he is a special breed, and I think that once he's out of the sport, he's going to be somebody we miss because the meme. It's like, oh, so and so pulled out. Who's going to step up? And then you have Land Down Under playing as
Yeah.
Volk enters, as a joke. Um, that being said, after watching this first one, which I'm pretty sure you went back and watched, um, God, dude, I love Diego Lopes. He's
I do too.
been one of my favorite, like since a young prospect. He's been one of my favorites to watch, and I really wanted him to get the belt just out of. I don't even think his family was there to watch him in that
Mm.
first title fight, or maybe they couldn't make it, or something of the sort. That I mean, as just somebody that wants to share my happiness, he didn't even get to do that, dude. And I think he gets it done, and I'm a huge Volk fan as well. Dude, I've been
Yeah.
watching Cooking with Volk almost daily. And then I go in the kitchen. I do nothing comparable to that. But
Yeah.
what matters is he persuaded me, not persuaded me, but he influenced me to go in there and try my Gordon Ramsay side, but just can't get it under wraps. I might order a shirt. You know what? I'm taking Diego Lopes, and especially if Diego Lopes wins, I'm going to win money on that. And with that money, I'm going to buy a Cooking with Volk shirt. And then you're going to see it on this podcast.
That's fire. That's fire. One
Put my
thing I
money where
will
my mouth
say
is.
about that last fight, one thing I felt like I noticed was Diego seemed like, I don't want to say the moment was too bright for him, but standing in front of a legend like Volkanovski, that whole aura that Volk brings, he seemed a little kind of like he was starstruck in a way. He was very hesitant. He's very defensive and just tried not to, just he wasn't fighting a Diego Lopes fight. And then after the first couple rounds, he seemed like he got more comfortable. He seemed like he started striking a lot more. He's trying to stand and bang and get into it and look more like Diego Lopes. And that being said, I don't think that he has that hesitation. I don't think he has that. He'll be starstruck in this rematch right here. And for that reason, I'm with you, bro. I'm taking Diego
Yeah.
Lopes.
Yeah,
And
and he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, and
he's gonna be a lot more comfortable. These are two guys that like each other. He's not gonna be scared of them or anything like
yeah,
that.
did you
Not that
see
he
he was
was,
like,
but
"Hey, Volk, sing again" or something
yeah.
like that? That
Yeah,
was funny.
and just seeing in the press conference and knowing the respect that they've got for each other. There's no bad blood. Both guys want to come out there and put on a good show. And with Diego, hopefully looking a lot more comfortable in the octagon with a guy like Volk. And Lopez in his last fight, he seemed like he had a chip on his shoulder then too against Gene Silva.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and I think Gene Silva's throwing that spinning elbow so many times that Diego Lopez was like calculating his moves,
yeah,
and he knew he'd overextend or like maybe lunge into a shot, and I think that will get Volk caught as well. I don't know if he knocks Volk. I think if he knocks Volk out, it'll be like a ground and pound issue,
yeah,
where he'll
TKO
get
type
Volk
thing.
down. But also, I think it was Tim's podcast with Bedtime MMA. I think that he mentioned how Diego Lopez likes to throw submissions up from his back. So if Volk gets on top of him and has that top control, and I don't think he's going to get sub. Volk's not going to get sub from the bottom position, if that makes, from
Yeah,
the top position. So I think that if Diego Lopez gets him on the ground, gets on top of him, he can get some ground and pound in and possibly finish the fight that way, or just take the points, obviously. But um, this one should be a fun one as well, dude. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be way more technical. And just watching the Sean and Tim podcast right now, talking about technical fights versus sloppy fights. Those technical fights are a little more boring, but in my eyes, they're more fun because it's like the power in which they possess.
yeah,
So it could be over just like that if they were fighting sloppy.
yeah. No, I'm with you.
And
Um,
I don't think. Sorry, I'm over talking, but I'm just getting
no,
excited
you're
about this
good, man.
fight now,
That's what a
thinking about it.
podcast is for.
Yep. Uh, I like the fact that Diego was sloppy with Gene Silva because, like, that's how, or John Silva, I don't know, man, I don't know. But that's kind of how he fights, John Silva does. Diego is kind of sporadic. He is in your face, but I think when he fights Bulk, he is a little more technical, and I like that side of him because you will see, like, the better version. I
Yeah,
think Bulk just brings out the best in people, so
that's a
he
good
brought the
point.
best out of Islam.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So we're both taking Diego in this one.
Yes.
That makes me worried, but
against the hometown kid, dude.
I know.
Oh,
I
a
know.
light bulb. Can they just draw
I mean, maybe if they bring some crayons.
crayons? Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
All right, Kyle. So now that we are through the main card, before we get to the picks, what is your pick for the fight of the night at UFC 325?
Just through the main card. Like we're talking best fight on the main card, not
Yeah.
even just fight of the night, right? Because if we were to
Okay.
do fight of the night, we had to review the whole card. We're
That's
not
fine.
doing that. Let's just do the best fight to us and the general public for the main card. I'm gonna go ahead and say, obviously, how do you say the first guy's name again? I did pretty bad on that one.
Quillan, Salkilld.
I think he'll have the best performance in a sense. He'll just get him out there and piece him up and then end it. Fight of the night. I'm gonna say Fazeev and Mauricio Ruffy. I'm gonna say that one. I'm gonna stick with
Okay.
it.
I. It's kind of funny you said that because I was going to say that just because I thought you were going to say Dan Hooker and BSD.
Nah,
So
man. I think the bloodiest fight will be Dan Hooker and BSD, but I don't know if that necessarily will be the most banger fight there is.
I will I
In
will
a sense,
say
entertainment.
Dan Hooker and BSD just
Dude, you can
because.
say the same fight as me. It's okay, man.
No, no, no. This was my number one pick initially. I was just gonna
Okay.
say something else because I thought this is where you're going. But this is what I think will be the fight of the night. I think the lines are a little bit iffy. BSD seems like a little bit heavier favorite than maybe I would have thought. But if Dan Hooker gets taken down, then BSD could submit him, and it's hard to say, but I kind of see this one going more the distance. But I'll
And just be a
save that.
scrap.
I'll save that for when we get to the picks. But yeah, that's my pick for the fight of the main card, if you will. So
All right.
now let's get into the picks. I've got 3. How many you got?
I have 3 with one bonus that's in the prelims.
Okay. Go ahead and get us started with that prelim pick.
All right, prelim pick, and I'm most confident in this one. God, I say that every time. But one of these I'm going to hit eventually. I like Finney money line, Torres Finney. I think it's Torres Finney. Um, I like him money line plus 122. I really like that fight no distance plus 134.
Okay.
For the main card, I'm going to go ahead and take Rafael Fiziev fight and Mauricio Ruff fight no distance plus 122.
Mm,
I'm going to take the
interesting.
BSD and Dan Hooker fight yes distance plus 128.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take Diego Lopes by KO or sub plus 175.
Ooh, no distance. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're against each other. In one of my picks, I got Fazeev and Rufy going the distance, minus 154. That is my first pick. So going against each other there, but kind of line up together for the other ones. I got Hooker and BSD fight to start round 3, minus 108. And then Diego
Oh, I like
Lopes.
that one. I might have to take that
Hey,
or
thanks,
tell you on
man.
that.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
first
tell
time
you on
you've
that.
ever said that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you on it. Whatever.
Hooker and
Whatever.
BSD fight to start round 3. Bars coming from me, minus 108. It'd be funny if it was minus 103. But and then yeah, Diego Lopes money line plus 118. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think Diego Lopez money line's the safer play.
Yeah.
But when am I a safe guy? I like to do KO or sub. I
I don't
don't
blame
see
you.
it. I don't see this one also going the distance, right?
It is
Or
5
it does,
rounds.
and then it sets it up for the trilogy. But do we really want to see two guys that like each other go the trilogy? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah. Well,
But
Kyle, let's look ahead. Let's do a little ball, the crystal ball, if you will.
okay.
Let's do a little look ahead.
Are we
March
talking
7th.
card number cards, or are we going to be talking about fight nights? Because I'd like to talk about this fight night coming up. Let's see here. You go ahead and just do what you got to do. I'm going to bring it up.
Well, I was getting into the main card or the numbered card, the next one. Uh,
Nah, dude. So you're skipping over a banger of a fight.
Okay, that's fine. I was just like, keeping the people, let's see what's going on with the numbered
You go ahead
cards.
and bring
And
it up. I know which one you're talking about. I'm pretty sure. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
just saying, March 7th in Las Vegas, that'll be the next numbered card on Paramount, UFC 326. Your boy Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway for the BMF title, lightweight division class fight, main event. And that's going to be a banger. That's going to be
That is
just,
going to be.
it's
I
going
think
to
that
be
one's going to be
awesome.
a fun one.
Yeah. Co-main event in that one, Hanato Moicano, Brian Ortega, who's stepping up from the featherweight division. That's a lightweight bout at 155. And then Kyle Baralho and RDR, Rainier de Ritter, in the middleweight division.
Dude,
There,
stat card.
it really is. We got RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez, Bruno Ferreira in the middleweight as well. And then getting started off in the bantamweight for that main card, Chiwiwis, Raul Rosas Jr. and Rob Font get us started on the main card. And then the featured prelim fight will be Cody Garbrandt and Zhao Long in the bantamweight division as well. Let's go ahead and look at that fight night that you're talking about. I'm interested. I haven't looked at it.
Well, my computer over here is having some trouble bringing it up, but
No.
realistically, I just wanted to talk about Mario Batista, which, remember, he ended up taking out, going blank on his name, the dude from PFL. He took
Pitbull,
out Patchy Mix.
Patchy Mix.
And did you see the news that Patchy Mix is cut from the UFC
I
and
missed
or
that.
left or retired? I don't know, but he's out of the UFC now.
0-2,
And then
right?
you have Mario Batista taking Umar to the decision,
Yeah.
taking an L. But then now he is facing Vinicius Oliveira, which
Mm.
is a sporadic, fun guy. You have 23-3 versus 16-3. This one's going to be a fun fight because Mario's no chump and he's not somebody to walk through. And Vinicius is very wild and he's fun to watch. I think this could be either a really fun fight or a really boring fight, depending who's watching. When I'm watching, it's going to be fun.
Okay. I like that. Is there any other fights on that card that pique your interest?
I mean, there could be, but my computer's not even bringing it up, so we're just going to stick with that one. I don't
Okay.
really want to talk about a fight night too much when you just mentioned that banger of a card in March.
Yeah.
But hopefully,
It
we'll do a
does.
video before then.
So we went 6 weeks without a UFC numbered event. Then we start off last week with the Paramount era, and now we got back-to-back ones. Another one this week, and then not gonna have another numbered card until March 7th, and then I think they're gonna be getting back into the once a month type deal. So no numbered cards in February, but stay tuned. We may start covering some fight nights too.
Dude,
I'd
I
be
think
down to
there's a
get into
lot of
that.
good fight nights that get slept on. And
Oh
even if
yeah.
it's a few fights in the fight night, just talking about it, talking about the possible matchups that could be made if so and so wins, or if they do win, we cover a recover of it, a recap of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
anyhow.
alrighty. That's gonna do it. Any last words for the people, Kyle?
For the people, stay up, stay blessed, stay going, keep going. Always push ahead, brothers
I like
and
that.
sisters
I
and
like that.
sisters.
We didn't even mention a live stream that happened today, right?
We did not, but I don't even want to talk about it because I don't have too much knowledge on Twitch. If I had a little more knowledge on Twitch, I definitely would mention it.
Okay.
But
All right. Well, then
anyways,
I'll keep that for you to
just know
talk
Sugar
about.
Sean and I are cool. Okay, guys, that's it. We're boys, and that's
Yeah.
all they need to know. Just keep them on their seats.
Somebody got name dropped in a live stream today.
It's what we do around here, dude. And then, April 4th, I know I mentioned it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Tommy Gunn's fighting. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that one.
Would that be a fight night, or is he gonna be on a numbered event?
I think it's going to be on a numbered event. I don't know
Ooh,
yet. I don't know if
ooh.
they've mentioned. Let's see here, April 4th UFC. Ba, 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 ba. It's going to be a fight night at the Apex.
Okay.
It is going to be. I'm not seeing the card yet built. So
It has been
we'll have
announced though. I've
to.
seen it as well. Can't remember who
Yeah,
the who the
it has
opponent
some
is.
fights announced. I don't think it has all fights announced. But we have Tommy McMillan versus Manalo Zucchini.
Okay.
Somebody he's going to beat. That's all I know. All right, that's all I know.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. We will be going live on Saturday night around 9 o'clock to begin the main card of UFC 326. So hit the subscribe button if you're still watching. Really appreciate it. You doing that and interacting with the like button. Hit the bell. Leave a comment. All those interactions help out so much. Make sure to share it with your friends and get everybody else involved who are UFC fans. Get them involved with Mdmma. Really appreciate it. But shout out
in the background while you sleep. Come on.
Yeah, might as well, dude. Put the whole channel on loop. Appreciate it.
Yep.
But shout out to EB in Sweden. Hopefully he's watching and will tune back in with us on Saturday night when we do go live for UFC 326. Or excuse me, 325. I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're getting excited.
Yeah. Because that 326 card is looking me right in the eyes right now, and it's nice. But yeah, a lot to look forward to on Saturday night. We'll be going live here on MD Minds YouTube at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so stay tuned for that. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that, and as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace.